Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll go ahead and get started. I do know that more people will be joining us as this progresses, but we'll go ahead and get started for the sake of the time, and then also to honor our time for our panelists that will be joining us later this morning. So first off, we like to do a little bit of housekeeping. Apologize about that. I'd like to thank everyone for attending today's webinar. We appreciate you setting time out of your day, and our hope is that you walk away with a better understanding of your benefits and also opportunities becoming a veteran entrepreneur. So we have a bit of housekeeping to go over before we begin. So please bear with me. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and your consent is required. Participation in the meeting will act as your acknowledgement for the recording. You will notice that your camera and microphone options are off. This is to limit distractions and maximize bandwidth for an optimal presentation. So a bit of online housekeeping. Like to indicate that in the event of an emergency, please leave all personal belongings and safely exit the premises of wherever you may be, or conduct any kind of safety checks to ensure your safety. If you do experience a loss of internet service or connection, please rejoin the webinar utilizing the link provided in your email. So along with that, we're going to go into our introduction. So a bit about myself. My name is Cherie Nuez. I've been working for CalVet for 3 years. Previous to this position, I worked for the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Unit, assisting current and aspiring veterans, business owners become DVBE certified so that they can procure with the state. My father is a 20-year Air Force veteran, and I still have a few family members still actively serving today. Joining me today is my fellow training coordinator, Jana Adams, which you can probably see she's been active in the webinar chat function. Also joining me are subject matter experts, Peter Fong from SCORE, Kelly Benham-Anthus from the Northern California Veteran Business Outreach Center, VBOC, and Ben Gales, our Orange County Local Interagency Network Coordinator, or LINC, who will be speaking shortly. I'd like to let you all know when applying for benefits or services, I would like to encourage you to provide a non-DoD email address. The chat function will be utilized for resource sharing. As you can see right now, Jana's already dropped a few things there. We also will be utilizing the Q&A function. This is a public forum, so please exercise respectful inquiries. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get you started with CalTAP and what CalTAP is. This is meant to give you a snapshot of your benefits and resources available to you. So CalTAP, what is it? CalTAP actually stands for the California Transition Assistance Program. Essentially, we are here to assist you multilaterally. It was designed to inform, connect veterans of all eras to their earned federal and state benefits, as well as provide continued support and assistance as their needs change over time through 5 pathways: core curriculum, education, employment, entrepreneurship, and service providers. The slide here we have is the Veteran Resource Book. This is something that we always refer to, which is an excellent tool to enlighten, educate, and empower you. Jana already dropped a copy of that in the chat. Highly suggest you to download that so you can be more informed about your California veteran benefits. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about our webpage and what you can find there. Webpage address is calvet.ca.gov, so please be sure to visit that. It provides you 24/7 access to information regarding benefits and services. So as you can see by the red circle there, it indicates our CalTAP webpage and will drive you to our web portal. So this is the pathways that I mentioned earlier. We have the core curriculum circled in red. We're going to go ahead and explore that one. But just know, your needs may change 5, 10, or 15 years from now, or even next year. So know that this is a great snapshot of how you can utilize your California benefits as it relates to you or your family members. So the core curriculum has a lot of different learning modules. It'll allow you to self-pace your learning. There's a lot of training videos and how-tos, so I would highly suggest you to explore that. But we're going to go ahead and dive deeper into the California benefits and what's awarded for you there. So let's go into that. So California specific one, the most popular one, is the college tuition fee waiver. So dependents of veterans with service disability rating 0 or higher could qualify for the college tuition fee waiver. The veteran designation for your driver's license unlocks certain employment, housing, and education benefits, but your county veteran service office or your CVSO can assist you with all DMV matters. They also do have a a honoring veteran license plate, and you can seek more information from either the DMV or your CVSO. Jana's dropping all the links to those benefits now. So if you want to circle back or something that you have, it'll be in the chat. Some other departments that are offering some great opportunities is the Department of Parks and Rec has a distinguished Veterans Pass. The Department of Fish and Wildlife has special days for military and discounted rates for disabled veterans. And if you didn't know, California has 58 counties with diverse tax regulations. So I'd highly suggest you to speak with your county assessor in regards to what exemptions you may be qualified for. A little bit about CalVet. We are comprised of 6 different divisions. CalTAP, which myself and Jana are a part of, and Ben as part of Veteran Services, which is a multifaceted unit whose goal is to best assist service members, veterans, their families, and service providers who are seeking to work or partner with veterans on a culturally competent level. We have a home loans division. So please note that the VA and CalVet are completely separate programs with differing qualifications. However, VA home loans and CalVet home loans together can maximize their purchasing power. We have the women's division, and if you didn't know, there are over 163,000 female veterans in California. They have a women's veteran roster, and Jan is providing the link there. Highly suggest any of our female veterans that might be on the call today. There's some excellent networking opportunities and just some great resources for our female vets. So highly suggest you jumping on that mailing list. We have a minorities and underrepresented veterans division as well. California estimates 40% of veterans are minorities. This division seeks to identify gaps and increase accessibility. There is also a new program. It's called Pathway to Citizenship for those that served and are seeking citizenship. There are also LGBTQ support and resources, outreach to our Native American service members as well. There is a link for their roster, separate from the women's division. They have a roster as well. Please remember to use a non-DoD email address. We also have homes for our veterans for long-term care. This is income-based skilled nursing and assisted living facilities that provide nationally recognized premier care. We also have our cemeteries to preserve your legacy. California vets are eligible to apply for internment at Seaside and Redding, and we have a Yountville location. However, the Yountville location is reserved for residents of the Yountville home. So I know I gave you a lot of information in a short period of time, but as we discussed this overview really quickly, there might be some items that currently don't apply to you or your family, but we understand situations change over time. So please stay connected with us with their email address. We have CalTAP at calvet.ca.gov so we can continue our relationship. Rest assured, you will not be spammed. You will only send, we will only send you information and benefits and resources. So really quick, we also have our webinar survey. So I highly suggest you to fill that out because we do recall these surveys so that we can benefit and enhance our programs even more. My CalVet, please be sure to stay locked in with us there. We have information on state and federal benefits and upcoming CalVet hosted webinars with our CalVet account. It also provides you access to our monthly newsletter. We always have a great note from our Deputy Secretary, Keith Boylan, and each month has a different focus and provides you a listing of upcoming events. Not to shy away, also want to highlight our partners over at the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, the VA. This is a website you all might be familiar with. Just want to highly encourage, if you haven't visited it, please do. This website provides you 24/7 access for you in 4 areas: healthcare, disability, education, and records. It's rich in information and resources, but we're always happy to help you out. As you can see indicated with the red circle, that's to sign in. This is the replacement to my VA for e-benefits. For those of you that may or may not know, that transition is in place. However, this is a great place for you to view your claims, transfer entitlements, or update direct deposit for service members, veterans, families, and care providers. That's it for me for now. This is my contact information. If you would like to reach out to me or have me follow up with you about anything that I discussed, be happy to go over that with you. Here's this. Don't forget to capture it. But I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Ben Yales, our link from Orange County, who will be presenting on the roles and responsibility.
All right, thanks so much, Cherie. A lot of great information there. Appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so as Cherie mentioned, my name is Ben Gales, and at CalVet I'm what we call a link. And one of the most important things that we do as links is we provide information about benefits and services, and we make connections to service providers for veterans and their families. And I'll talk more about that as we move along here. Next slide, please, Cherie. Okay, so this is our link map. We have 8 links in the state. So this map is color-coded so that you can see which link can best serve you, depending on where you live. You can see that our link regions differ a good amount by size and also veteran density. And really the main point, though, is that as links, we're very well versed on the different services in our region. So we're in a good position to help you connect to services. Next slide, please. Okay, so what do we do as links? We provide outreach to service members, veterans, and their families. We make referrals and work directly with established service provider networks. And so when we do that, the knowledge that we have is based upon really being in the community. It's not based upon looking at websites. We really know the providers by going to in-person meetings and one-on-ones. And so that's how we really develop our knowledge. We assist with local emergencies. So California wildfires are a good example. A lot of our team and CalTAP I'm learning is going to be doing that too, or going out to support veterans and their families affected by wildfires. And then we provide leadership and advocacy to local communities. And so there's a lot of collaborative groups around the state focus on improving coordination of services for veterans, and we're very involved in that. Next slide, please. Okay, so connecting to benefits. So this is kind of a sample of the types of benefits that we can connect you to. It's worth noting that this is really just a sample. So there's a whole bunch of nonprofit organizations out there that provide a range of different services. So we've chosen some here that are standard across the state. Government services. So the EDD, the Employment Development Department, and their veteran-specific team. They work out of what are called America's Job Centers, formerly called one-stops. And we have county veteran service offices. So those offices are great offices that help you with applying for state and federal benefits. They're really an extension of CalVet in a way, and they administer some of our programs, really very knowledgeable in helping to connect with truly a wide range of state and federal benefits. And then there's the VA healthcare side. So there are medical centers and clinics known as CBOCs, and there are vet centers, which are mental health centers. Next slide, please. Okay, so I think just finally, most of you here today are here for entrepreneurship, and that's great. And it's good to know that your links are also available to make resource connections there too. And so it's another area that we're out in the community and we know our service providers. So, for example, if you're in Orange County and you called me, I would talk to you about the Veteran Business Alliance here, the Veteran Business Network, provide information on, when and where they meet and what kind of meetings they have, the VIB, our SBDCs. So we're connected in that way too. And so please, you're going to learn a lot of great information from our presenters today, but remember that your links are also here for you in terms of local connections for entrepreneurship support. Okay, well, that's it for me. Thanks, Cherie.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ben, for joining us today. And everyone capture the information there on your screen. Well, we will be providing it later, but Ben is a great contact for us to all have. Thanks, Ben. So to go in a little bit about veteran entrepreneurship, I'm just going to give you some high-level, quick information about veteran entrepreneurship. More of our speakers will go into detail about what the resources are, but be happy to follow up with you again if anyone wants to contact me about any of the things I'm presenting today. So as you can see with the visual here, the data presented is from the Census Bureau and the Small Business Administration. As of 2018, there are 1.9 million veteran-owned businesses in the U.S. and they generate approximately 1.3 trillion in sales and employ just a little over 5 million employees. So it's something to note that veterans are out there and they're definitely succeeding in their entrepreneurial benefit or their pursuits. This is the breakdown of veteran employer firms by sector. Um, they are succeeding in business ownership, more particularly in the top five. We have professional services, construction, retail, and healthcare. So opportunities are out there. This is just a snapshot of what you see here. So something really quick to go into is how do you start your business? So there are quick 5 steps as far as like starting your business, but I'm sure there's definitely a lot more depth and crucial ways in which to establish your foundation, your mission, your vision of your company. So you want to develop a solid business plan, decide where you're going to go and where you're going to locate your business, what's going to best work for you, and what niche market you're wanting to get into. Choose your business structure, file your tax and employer information, and obtain any necessary license or permits. So real quick, we want to talk about the state and federal business certifications. There are 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. So good thing or what you want to do when you think about doing business when procuring with the state or federal government, there are two questions to ask yourself and assess for your business. So we have for the state certifications, you may seek to become certified as a small business and as a disabled veteran business enterprise or DVBE, which allows your business to procure in a wider scheme. There's also on the federal side, the service disabled veteran owned small business. So program benefits, just to review here, we have on the California side a 3% solicitation goal. On the federal side, similar set as well. We have on the California side, multiple awarding agencies and departments. They also have in-house advocates that you can speak with in regards to DVBE and small business procurement and how to work best with awarding agencies. On the federal side, they have set-aside contracts, which is competitive nonetheless, but they are the sole source. So you're competing within a very smaller pool, but there's a pool nonetheless. And on the state side, you just want to highlight the reciprocity program as it's a great opportunity to procure on a larger level. So reciprocity partner, just to let you know what that is, it's city, county, or agency with a special district that honors the state of California's SB or DVBE certification and acceptance into their individual business enterprise programs. So some of the partners actually include the UC, University of California System, SMUD, and numerous utilities such as AT&T, Comcast, PG&E, and more. So I know with the recent storms, they're they're looking for a lot of people to help out. There's emergency procurement as well that as a certified California DVBE, you can participate in. Just quick little eligibility requirements. On the California side, you need to be at least 51% owned and controlled by a veteran with a service-connected disability of 10% from the VA. LLCs need to be wholly owned or more disabled veterans, and you must be domiciled in California. That's for the California side. For the federal, it's 51% and controlled by a veteran with a 0% or 0 to 100% service-connected disability rating from the VA. There's also other standards that you must qualify for in a particular industry, depending on what that is, but you can visit the SBA for that. This is Cal eProcure on our website. This is their webpage here. This is how you get certified. As indicated in the red circle, you'd want to click on that to get certified. There are tutorial videos and also a checklist that you can download to assist in that. To give you a snapshot and a real quick overview, these are the requirements here. Please note you might notice in that first bullet point, 3 years tax return for new firms. If you're filing just to become a small business, no tax return is requested. If you're a new DVBE, they are asking for qualifying disabled veterans' newest personal tax return. So please note that. But more information on Cal eProcure for those certifications. Now, to get federally certified, or SDVOSB, which is Service Disabled Veteran Owned Small Business, you'd want to go onto the SAM website, which is the system for award management website, sam.gov, and Janet just dropped it in there. To get certified, this is the information here, similar and set to the state side of certification. But if you have any questions, feel free to follow up with me after and be happy to help you out with anything there. All right, without further ado, that's it from me. I'm going to turn it over to our speakers for today. Our first speaker is going to be Peter Fong from SCORE. We have Peter on here. Go ahead and have you turn on your camera, and when you're ready to go, sir.
Thank you. Next slide, please. Thank you, and thank you, CalVet has great resources and our veterans out there. My name's Peter Fong, and I've been a SCORE mentor for 15 years. I'm a service-disabled Navy veteran, and we call it a Veterans Protege Program, Vets Helping Vets. Next slide, please. So about SCORE, next slide. We've been around since 1964, helping veterans and small businesses around the country. Our mission is to foster vibrant small business communities through mentoring and education. And we've got a great resource for our veterans out there. And then our vision is that every person has the support necessary to thrive as a small business owner. Next slide, please. We help small businesses providing free business advice and, more importantly, mentoring one-on-one individually, offering low cost or no cost business training. If there are any charges for our webinars, these are set at no cost to veterans and family members. Sharing a free brochures, templates, and resources, which I'll talk about a little more later. Next slide, please. So we have over 13,000 volunteers across the country. And obviously California is an area that I serve, and we look forward to working with CalVet and our other team members. Next slide, please. How SCORE can help. Next slide. There's several areas that we can help you. Number one is free mentoring. Mentoring is really critical for those that are transitioning from a military to civilian life and the terminology. And every SCORE chapter has expertise and face-to-face and local. We're doing mainly virtual, so you can connect with a mentor wherever you're located. Whether you're starting a business or ready to sell or retire, we can help you provide guidance and resources through a decision. Turn to SCORE for assistance when you have a question, or you might have multiple questions. We're here to help you succeed. Next, and we're here for the life of your business. Next slide, please. I think every business owner and every veteran out there should know this. There are many resources available to you. CalVet is a great resource partner, along with other business partners out there. So you don't have to go it alone. A lot of these services are free. These are your tax dollars at work. There are people out there who like to charge you, but believe me, the resources you're going to get are immense and resourceful for you at no cost. A mentoring, you may have 1, 2, or 3 mentors, depending on your skill sets and the type of business you have. We provide educational workshops ongoing, which we'll share with you on our website. Our online resources are immense, and I'll talk about that when we go to our website, and we have a special portal for veterans. Next slide, please. So don't wait. We have what we call vet to vet business roundtables. You can become a volunteer, be one of our veteran protege mentoring out there if you're a veteran. And then if you need a mentor, just click here, and your request will be processed within 5 minutes, and a mentor will be assigned to you regardless of your location. Next slide. We should have some of the SCORE resources in here for you. Request a mentor, and of course, take a workshop, and you'll receive a copy of these. These links are embedded in here. How to join SCORE. And then our Veterans Entrepreneurship Resource Hub, which is specifically for veterans out there. Great resources for you, and grants that are coming up, and then courses on demand, and tools and templates, which are really, really important for you. Next slide. We have an announcement today. FedEx Small Business Grant Contest opens on January 31st. And there's a chance for you to win $30,000. And there'll be a veteran winner for $30,000, but they'll get an additional $20,000 from USAA and Small Business Insurance Company. So if you're a veteran out there and you need a grant for your business, the portal does open on January 31st. So hopefully someone can log in and get a grant. Next slide, please. Hire a vet. This is an unusual website. This is not a Google search. This is a really good website for veterans for prevailing wages. And all the businesses have been verified through LinkedIn, not Google. If you do a Google search on a lot of these businesses, they're not in business anymore. But these have all been verified through LinkedIn to be sure they're in business. You can see the profile of the business owners and the type of veterans they are looking for. You can search by state, city, and zip codes. So this is a great website, and hopefully please take advantage of it. And it's free and no cost to you. Next slide, please. So, and that concludes my presentation, and I will hang around if you have any questions. And thank you for having me this morning, and thank you, veterans, and thank you, CalVet.
Thank you very much, Peter. Greatly appreciate all the information you provided. Jana shared quite a few different links in the chat, so please refer to that for information on SCORE if you wish to connect with Peter. Now we'd like to invite Kelly Benham-Anthus from our NorCal Veterans Business Outreach Center, or VBOC, to join us here and share information about our VBOC. Kelly.
Oh, thanks, Cherie, and thank you again to CalVet. Thanks for our CalTAP. Thanks for inviting us today. So as mentioned, my name is Kelly Benham-Anthus, and I'm the director of the Northern California VBOC, which stands for Veterans Business Outreach Center. I'm sure you're all used to how we love acronyms in the government, so you can call us VBOC anytime. So I'm going to share with you some information in regards to what our VBOC offers to our veterans, transitioning service members, mill spouses, military connected families. Next slide. So this is the mission of the VBOC. As stated here on the PowerPoint slide, is we serve men and women, both active duty members, Guard, Reserve veterans, and their family members. And as I mentioned, we have special programs also for mill spouses and for military connected family members, and also really focusing on the entrepreneurial side of things. So if you want to start or grow an existing business, we are an excellent resource. Next slide. And also, and it was very nice to see Peter from SCORE. This is an example of a collaborative partnership. But at the VBOC, we do collaborate with resource partners. We're funded in part by the SBA, which is the Small Business Administration. We work very closely with the SBDC, stands for Small Business Development Center. And of course, SCORE is a network partner. We also collaborate with the PTAP, Procurement Technical Assistance Center, who recently is changing their names to Apex. But what you need to know is that they offer one-on-one assistance with government contracting and those government certifications that Cherie mentioned earlier. And then, of course, the Women's Business Center. So this is a lot of information in a short period of time, but basically our job is to help you navigate through all of these resources that are available to you. And so we offer business development services, training such as these, and consulting at no charge. As Peter mentioned, there's really no such thing as anything that's free. We don't call it free. We call it no cost to you, because your service and your tax dollars are already paying for these resources. So we really encourage you to take advantage of them. Currently, on the VBOC side of things, we have 22 VBOCs across the United States. I'm very happy to share that as of spring of this year, we will be having probably either 33 or 34 Veterans Business Outreach Centers. So we're certainly expanding across the U.S. And each VBOC has their own service area, and I'm going to give you a little information about where ours is located currently. Next slide. One of the things I do want to share that makes us unique at the VBOC is, in addition to serving existing veterans and veteran-owned businesses, we also train on military bases. And as I mentioned, also each VBOC has a specific service area, but we also have certain bases that we train on. And we offer services during their transition when they are exiting the military, and it's called the TAP program. And we are the entrepreneurial section of that to teach them as they're leaving. They can take an employment track, an education track, or if they already have a gig business, which many of our service members while they're in the military do, we can actually help them start or grow a business or make business legal, if you will. These are the military bases that we serve at our NorCal VBOC, which is Lemoore, Monterey, China Lake, Bill, and Travis Air Force Base. Next slide. So how do we assist our clients at the VBOC? Well, we offer that one-on-one consulting and mentorship. And as I mentioned, it states here, we have a variety of workshops, which I'll give you an idea of what those are here in a few minutes. But really that one-on-one consulting is where we can either assist our transition service members or our existing veteran-owned businesses to really move to the next step in their business development and their goals. Sitting down with one of our mentors or consultants one-on-one oftentimes gives you that individualized service that you need. Also, we offer the pre-business plan workshops. So we have templates for business plans, and it can offer that assistance. And we have workshops as well for business planning. We also have access to market analysis, feasibility analysis, so that you can develop your strategy. We know that the more information you can gather regarding your industry or your market, your customers, if you will, are really going to help you move to the next step as well. Or if you're looking to expand your business, maybe add a new revenue driver, we can help you gather information and help you determine whether that's going to be successful for you. Again, additional trainings. And sometimes it seems like that we share this information. It's a lot of information. And oftentimes people say, I didn't even know all these resources were available. And now there's so many, I don't really know how to navigate through them. So rest assured, you can contact us at the VBOC and we can take you through all the resources. And if we don't have the services that you need, as we have a pretty large service area to cover, we definitely reach out and refer you to our other resource partners. And then also we offer many other business related development services. Next slide. So as I was referring to also on those military bases, we offer Boots to Business. And this is a curriculum, a standardized curriculum that's offered in over 125 military bases across the United States, but it's called Boots to Business. And it's a 2-day event, and this is conducted on base. For us, it's those bases that I demonstrated in the previous slide. And most of the bases offer this at least once a quarter. And it's opening to transitioning service members. Oftentimes it's also open to veterans, and it can also be open to mil spouses as well. The modules, as you can see on the right-hand side, are the introduction to entrepreneurship. So we take them through the processes. You know, what are the attributes of an entrepreneur? And then if you have an idea for a business, how can you develop through the process to determine, is this an idea or is it potentially a successful idea and I'm going to launch it as a business? Well, I'm going to do my market research first to determine if it's a growth industry, et cetera, and many other things that we can determine through market research. Then we go into the economics of business, which is pricing. How do you price things appropriately? Why do we price things the way that we do? Well, to cover our fixed and variable costs, but we go into more detail on that. And then we go into the legal entity of a business and share all the different types of legal entities that are available, and then help our service members determine which is the best fit for them, depending on their industry, et cetera. Then after that, we talk about financing and access to capital. We call this the part where we're going to show you the money, or we actually encourage our service members, if you can start a business without debt and capital and start small and grow your business, it's always, the best idea. We call that bootstrapping. But then if you do need capital to expand or purchase a building, that sort of thing, we're going to show you the steps to access capital. And then everything is wrapped up nicely into a business plan. So how do you complete a business plan? What's the process for it? We have a template called Live Plan. I don't know if anyone has a chance to put that in the website for me, but it's liveplan.org. And we have that also for no cost. And similar to what Peter mentioned as well, we really encourage our service members or our veterans, do not pay for anything or sign anything until we kind of do a research ourselves to see if it's available for you for no cost. And LivePlan is a great template that you can use for no cost. I know SCORE does a great job also with the business model Canvas. We send a lot of our veterans to those workshops as well. And then of course, resources for ongoing support. So the Boots to Business, as I mentioned, is on base, but we also offer it in the communities that we serve with other partners. This is a one-day event, so all this curriculum is delivered in one day off base. And then with it being off base, it's open to, as I mentioned here, Guard, Reserve, veterans of all eras, and military-connected family members. And it really is an introduction to entrepreneurship. I call it entrepreneurship by fire hose, but there's a lot of great information in a short period of time. Next slide. This is one of my favorite slides, and I'll tell you why, and it comes out of our Boots to Business curriculum. Oftentimes, especially our transitioning service members, they think that they're at a disadvantage for serving in the military, but in fact, as you can see by all the acronyms on the left-hand side of the slide here, when we describe a successful entrepreneur, we oftentimes use the same definitions, if you will, or adjectives that we use for describing veterans, the skills that they have learned in the military. So our veterans, our service members are mission focused. They've learned to be critical thinkers, great problem solvers. They understand team management and they value relationships. They can be flexible, resilient, persistent, ethical, and reliable. And all of these transferable skills fit very well into small business ownerships and entrepreneurship. So again, if you have been out of the service for a while and you just need to take a refresher, we offer those reboots oftentimes online, actually online once a month. And you can find those on our website, which we'll share. Maybe you just need to kind of sharpen your tools a little bit or have a little refresher, or there's someone that might benefit from them. Next slide, please. So here's a few other workshops that we offer here at our Veterans Business Outreach Center. We offer workshops and we have one-on-one consulting to help you obtain those government certifications that we've been talking about earlier this morning. Also government contracting. Many of our service members and veterans like to do or are interested in doing business with the government. We also have a corporate procurement workshop that we are going to be presenting later on in the year as well. We also assist, as I mentioned, business plans in action, which is a business plan workshop that we offer once a month. We also offer once a month marketing essentials for veteran-owned businesses and marketing fundamentals. Just recently, we had of our series Veteran Grown. Many of our transitioning service members and veterans are in agriculture or interested in doing so. So we have a veteran farming and ranching series to help them with best practices, best steps, that sort of thing. Also, franchising options for veterans. Many of franchises are actually seeking veterans to purchase their franchise for all of those reasons that I mentioned in the transferable skills section. So please check our website at norcalvboc.org. Next slide. And this is just a brief success story, just to hopefully one of you could be one as well. This is an example of a service member that was transitioning out of the military. I personally met him on a base, and he came to our Boots to Business. And then during his transition, he had a few months before he was transitioning out. And so he was actually moving from the West Coast to the East Coast, which happens a lot with our service members. And even if our VBOC is not in your service area, you can contact us and we can let you know who is available for you in your particular area. But back to John Bethel here, he purchased a business from a local merchant on the East Coast. And we helped him with everything from his, legal entity to his business plan, helped him access capital to purchase that business. He needed to set up QuickBooks and and a few other things. And those are some of the processes we assisted him with. And then we also did a warm handoff to the VBOC team and to other resource partners that were available to him in the East Coast. So again, this is just an example, and just want to let you know that there's a lot of success stories out there, and veterans and entrepreneurship really are a great fit. Next slide. All right, so we want to make sure that you connect with us. If you could connect with us at NorCal VBOC, we have a presence on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn. And if you have any other questions, next slide. You can certainly reach out to us at norcalvboc.org, where you can sign up for services, request one-on-one consulting, or register for one of our workshops. And thank you again for the opportunity to be here. And it's our pleasure to serve our veteran community. Thanks, Cherie. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Greatly appreciate your information and also the services offered by NorCal VBOC. So with that there, we're going to go ahead and open it up to the Q&A. Thank you to all our presenters for sharing your information and resources today. As you can see on our slide, our information was provided here. So myself, as well as my colleague Jana, Ben Gales, who presented earlier, OC Link, and Kelly and Peter from VBOC and SCORE respectively. So go ahead and take a picture of this if you'd like. It also will be provided in the chat later on. This recording of this particular presentation will be posted on our YouTube and also on our website. So if you missed something and you'd like to recap and revisit something, be sure to visit our website or our YouTube to replay. So at this time, we'll be taking any questions. Jana, if you want to go ahead and share with us what we got in the chat or in the Q&A.
Absolutely. We do have a couple questions that have come through. So Kelly and Peter, I might need your help on some of these. Whoever wants to jump in is more than welcome to. I'll go ahead and read the first one. So I'm working on my General B contracting license here in the state of California. I have not been able to get a mentor on this process to get me ready for my 2 exams. So where would he go to find a mentor to get ready for those 2 exams?
He can contact SCORE, or he can go to eProcure and at DGS, CalVet, and depending on his industry, they do have a business liaison by industry. And if he would like to contact one of the SCORE mentors, we can send them that link, or he can just go to DGS California.gov, and there is a liaison person by industry, and for some of these exams, they're online, but they do have a business advocate for them that will serve as a mentor that they can work with through the process.
Great. And I'm just recopying the link to the requesting a mentor, and I'm just putting it in the chat right now if you want to go ahead and notate that. Okay, we'll go on to the next question. So the next question is, I'm considering going into a business as a consultant. In addition, I'm 100% disabled. Will going into the business affect my disabled status? Kelly or Peter, if you want to take that.
It should not.
Okay, I didn't think so either. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Glad. Is there, so this is going to be a Kelly question. Is there a SoCal VBOC?
There is actually, and I was just looking for the resource. I just added our resource where you can contact us directly, but we also have a VBOC locator link that I'll put into the chat box. I actually, ironically enough, was the SoCal VBOC director for 2 years prior to coming back to NorCal. So there certainly is a SoCal VBOC in Southern California that can serve you. And again, there's 22 across the state, soon to be 33. There's also on the short list going to be a VBOC located in LA if you're from that area. So I'll put the links in there, and I encourage you to reach out.
Wonderful. Okay, someone asked if we can get a copy of the PowerPoint because I know this was like information overload, but really great information overload. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to post that here in just a couple minutes when I get off the question and answer section. I'll have a couple more links to post, and that will definitely be one of them. No problem. Okay, the next question is, I have no idea what kind of business I should start. Are there any resources I can explore to get some information, and where would those be?
Welcome to the real world. Yes, we have a lot of ideas, and by the time we leave Starbucks or the parking lot, we might have 3 or 4. You can connect with SBDC or SCORE and ask that question to your mentor, and we'll start that process for you. As Yogi Berra said, take the fork in the road. We are standing at the fork in the road to see which way you want to go. So that is our job, and hopefully we can help you through that process.
Thanks, Peter. And the same thing is, if you'd like a refresher, just to basically, an entrepreneurial, veteran-focused academy, the Reboot would be a good place to start, just to kind of get all the different sectors of entrepreneurship and be thinking about it. And then, of course, you can meet one-on-one with one of our VBOC consultants to really kind of go through your idea, see whether it's viable, help you with some market research, and then some tools for a business plan. Oftentimes people put together a business plan. It really doesn't always take them in the direction that they expected to go, but sometimes, it's even better than they had anticipated, or maybe they go in a different direction. So we can help you through kind of that analysis process to go to VBOC.
Definitely.
And I did put the link for the other VBOCs into the chat box.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. And thank you, Peter, for that. Also, to remind you all, as I mentioned earlier, our CalTAP website, we have 5 different pathways, one of them being entrepreneurship. So access 24/7 whenever you want. If that idea strikes you at 1 o'clock in the morning, you can read anything up on our website of how to get started as an entrepreneur, and just to kind of get your feet wet there. I'd highly suggest that as well. So a lot of resources shared in the chat. It looks like we had one more coming through. Go ahead, Jana.
Yep. And I also just I did share the PowerPoint presentation a moment ago, and then I just shared the entrepreneurship pathway that Cherie just mentioned. It's right on, it's embedded in the CalTAP webpage, which is on the CalVet website. So I can repost those too in a moment. But okay, last question. Another question for auto detailing? Where should I start once I complete the course?
That one is very niche. It looks like, Peter, jump back on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Peter.
Go to your local municipalities on detailing. Some of them, you do need a business license. It depends on where your business may be located. But like any municipalities, they're looking for revenue, and some cities and counties require it and some don't. But check with your local agencies for that, because some of these can be a certain location or mobile locations, and that is really up to the local permitting agencies in your community.
Great. And then just to follow up on that, absolutely, we can help you through that process. And just to point out that, as I think Cherie mentioned, that's very niche, but whether or not you're, going to start a restaurant or maybe do independent consulting or auto detailing, oftentimes the process is quite the same. It's just a different industry and a different sector. And as Peter mentioned, depends on the ordinances in your particular city or county. Some counties don't even require a business license if they're not incorporated, but then some do. And it's really an easy process. It can seem daunting, but we can take you through the steps for whatever you need and just kind of guide you through the process. We're not experts in, any certain industry ourselves. You're the experts, but we can really help guide you through to, get your business launched or expanded and do it correctly.
Absolutely. Let's see. Can we get emailed? The PDF of this? Oh, sure. If you guys want an email of the PDF, you guys can do one of 2 things. You can either email us at the caltap@calvet.ca.gov, or you can just drop your email address in the Q&A, and I will send it to you. If you can give me maybe 30 minutes or so at the very most. I'll get that sent over to you guys after the webinar is over. So either way, whatever's easier for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jana. Is that all for our questions thus far?
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm seeing a few emails come in, and I'll dismiss them slowly as I notate them. I just want to make sure I have them, and we'll keep this webinar on for a couple more minutes too. If anyone wants to, good. Looks like they're coming in, but go ahead and move on. You're all good.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So really just wanted to go over our upcoming events that we have for our webinars. On the 26th of this month, we have Certify Your Business to Contract with the State. We actually will have a representative from the Department of General Services Procurement Division, particularly the Office of Small Business and Disabled Veteran Business unit. They will be joining our partners with our fellow colleagues in CalTAP to review the requirements and how to go about getting your business certified so you can contract with the state. As that ties into the end of the month there, just to let everyone know, in February, we will be having, our feature topic will be education. So those dates will be listed shortly on our website. And also we'll be releasing different things via Eventbrite, as you all have access to that today. But please stay tuned for that as well. Next up, we have our survey. So please be sure to fill that out. Thank you everyone for attending the webinar. Most especially, thank you to our fellow presenters, Peter and Kelly and Ben for joining us today and sharing your information. We greatly appreciate it. And this is the QR code and also along with the link there for you to follow if you wish to give us any feedback. And lastly, thank you for your service. This is our contact information here, our website, and also our email address, as Jana mentioned earlier. Several QR codes there, just to let everybody know. We have get connected with us socially, whether it be Instagram or Facebook. And again, rewatch the video on YouTube if you so choose so. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you all very much for joining us.
Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to participate with you today. So thanks again for presenting this. And glad there were so many participants today as well. So have a great day.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.